What if everything you've been told about success is completely backwards? The phrase, the first will be last and the last will be first, is one of Jesus's most famous teachings that appear in different paradoxes in the Bible. It appears in Matthew 19:30, Matthew 20:16, Mark 10:31, and Luke 13:30. At its core, Jesus meant that God's kingdom operates on a completely different system than the how the world values people. Let me give you an example. In Matthew 19:1, a wealthy, influential young man refused to give up his possessions to follow Jesus. Right after he walked away, Jesus used this phrase to show that worldly wealth and high status didn't mean nothing in God's kingdom. The world standard focuses on power, prestige, wealth, and stepping over others to get to the top line. But the kingdom of God standard is humility, mercy, putting others first, and choosing a servant's heart. The world, but also God's grace is a gift not earned by human effort. And then I'll go to the parable of the vineyard workers. In Matthew 20, Jesus told a story about a landowner who hired laborers at different times of the day. Some worked 10 hours, and then others got there later and only worked 1 hour. At the end of the day, they were all paid the same. When those workers who got paid the exact same, who worked there all day, complained, the landowner reminded them of his generosity. He said, "So the last will be first and the first last." This emphasizes God's grace is a gift, not something earned. So what does this mean for you today? It means you can stop striving so hard to get to the top of the world's ladder and to chase those things that the world tells you to get. God has a whole different value system. For example, God's how God sees you isn't tied to your status or your bank account. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember these three truths. First, God's kingdom flips human status upside down. Second, true greatness is found in serving, not ruling. And third, grace is something that is a gift, something that is not earned. And then going forward, I want to challenge you guys. How can you guys put someone else first today? Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and see you next time.